Hello, this is Kai Hicks, the Douglas wildlife biologist with the Wyoming Game and Fish Department. Today I will be talking about the proposed 2025 hunting seasons for the Douglas, Glenrock, and Lusk areas. Here's a quick overview on how our season setting process works. Throughout the year, we are collecting data on both populations and harvest. We are doing pre- and post-season classification surveys along with abundance surveys. We are also doing hunter field checks during the hunting seasons. Once these seasons are over, we receive a harvest summary report. Once we have all this information together, we put our season proposals together with our season dates and license quotas. These proposals then go through a regional review, then the department review. Once those proposals are approved, those draft regulations are put out for public comment. During this time, we are hosting landowner and public meetings. We are holding 3 public meetings this year. The first one in Glenrock on March 20th at 6 p.m. at the Glenrock Library. The second one will be in Lusk on March 26th at 6 p.m. at the Niobrara County Fairgrounds Shooting Sports Building. And the final one will be in Douglas on March 31st at 6 p.m. at the Converse County Library. After the public hears this information, they will have the opportunity to make any comments regarding any season structure. These public comments are due by 5 p.m. on March 29th. Once these comments are submitted, we read through them and do a regional analysis to see if we need to make any changes with our proposals. Once these proposals are finalized, they will go to the commission in April, and the Game and Fish Commission will either approve or make changes to these season proposals. This commission meeting will be held on April 22nd and 23rd in Casper. This slide goes over what hunt areas and regions we'll be covering in this presentation. For pronghorn, we'll be going over areas 9, 11, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, and 103. For deer, we'll be going over 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 22, 65, Region B, Region J, and Region T. And finally, for elk, we'll be going over Area 3, 7, 19, 113, 122, 126, and Region E. For this presentation, we will start with the Douglas District Antelope Hunting Season recommendations. I'll start out with the North Converse pronghorn herd. This herd unit covers hunt area 25 and 26. Its population objective is 28,000 pronghorn. Over the past 5 years, we have seemed to stay just inside this objective range, but towards the lower end. Winter mortality these past few years have really made this population decline, and we still haven't seen it rebound yet. We have reduced licenses in both hunt areas the past few years to correlate with this drop in population. This year we had really good fawn ratios, 87 fawns per 100 does, which is above the 5-year average. This should definitely show an increase in the population here in the next few years. Our buck ratio is 53 bucks per 100 does. This is slightly below average, but there are still plenty of bucks on the landscape. Our harvest, however, this year was down, only harvesting 1,264 pronghorn. Looking at the numbers we went over from the previous slide, our ratio numbers are altogether looking really good. These quotas were slightly increased last year. However, the harvest this year was below average. With this information, we have decided to maintain the quota from the 2024 hunting season. However, we will be changing the Type 6 doe or fawn to a Type 7 doe or fawn. This Type 7 will only be valid on or within 1 mile of irrigated land. We did this to address any damage concerns from landowners. Moving on, we will now look at the Black Thunder pronghorn herd unit. For this unit, we'll be looking at hunt areas 9, 27, and 29. We will start with hunt area 9. For hunt area 9, our fawn ratios were above average. at 78 fawns per 100 does. Our buck ratios were also up at 59 bucks per 100 does. For 2024, harvest success was high on the Type 1 license. There was 230 pronghorn harvested. This year in Hunt Area 9, there will be the addition of a Type 7 license. This license will be 25 doe or fawn, valid on private land only. With looking at our fawn ratios and buck ratios, we feel this license will have no real impact on the herd population. However, it will be able to help out landowners with any damage problems. Moving on to Hunt Area 27, there will be no changes to season dates or quotas. We will maintain the same structure as 2024. Our fawn ratios are looking great this year, and our buck ratios are up from last year. There will be no changes in Hunt Area 29 this year. We will maintain the same season dates and quotas as we did in 2024. Our fawn ratios are above average this year, 71 fawns per 100 does. However, our buck ratios in this herd are down to around only 39 bucks per 100 does, which is below average. Next, we'll be looking at the medicine bow pronghorn herd. For the medicine bow pronghorn herd, we'll be looking at Hunt Area 30. This year in Hunt Area 30, we are going to increase the quota by 100 for the Type 1 license. This herd unit is meeting the population objective. Fawn ratios were above average this year at 64 fawns per 100 does, and our buck ratios were a little above average as well. Hunter success was also way up this year at 90%. With this information, we feel that it was necessary to increase our quota. Next, we'll be looking at the Dwyer pronghorn herd unit. For the Dwyer pronghorn herd unit, we'll just be looking at Hunt Area 103. There will be no changes this year in season dates or quotas. This herd is within its population objective. However, the past 30 years there has been very poor fawn crop and buck ratios remain low. Our harvest this year was also down at 203. Our final pronghorn herd unit that we'll be covering in this presentation is the Meadowdale pronghorn herd. For the Meadowdale pronghorn herd, we'll be looking at Area 11. Our fawn ratios are up with 61 fawns per 100 does, which is well above average. Our buck ratios have also increased to 54 bucks per 100 does, which is also above the 5-year average. Our harvest increased just slightly this year, harvesting 341 pronghorn. There will be no changes to the season structure this year. We will maintain quotas and season dates from 2024. We will now be moving on to deer and look at the Douglas District deer hunting season recommendations. We will start with the North Converse deer herd. The North Converse deer herd is made up of only one hunt area, Hunt Area 22. Our fawn ratios are significantly up this year at 72 fawns per 100 does, and our buck ratios are sitting right about average at 45 bucks per 100 does. We are still below objective in this herd unit. However, we were able to fly a siteability in January of 2025, and with this new data, our population model shows us an increase in mule deer for this herd unit. Our latest population estimates this herd to have a population of around 6,300 mule deer. For the 2024 hunting season, Hunt Area 22 was split into two different parts. You can see from this map, the blue indicates where the Type 2 is restricted to. Managers felt that this is where the most deer were in this hunt area, so the quota for the Type 2 was 250. The Type 1 has no boundaries and is able to hunt the entire area, and the quota for this is 150. With this big change being in place for only 1 year, we are making no changes to the quotas or season dates for the 2025 hunting season. In 2023 and 2024, Hunt Area 22 was part of a mandatory testing area for CWD. In 2023, we collected 39 samples from adult male mule deer, and results showed us that 10.3% of them were positive for CWD. An effort was again made in 2024. This time we were able to collect 100 samples from male mule deer, and results showed us that 12.1% of them were positive for CWD. Our 5-year average for positive CWD in this hunt area is 12%. We will now move on to the South Converse deer herd. This herd unit consists of hunt area 65. The South Converse deer herd is made up of hunt area 65. We can see in 2024 we had good fawn ratios, 67 fawns per 100 does, which is above the 5-year average. And our buck ratios were right around the 5-year average at 34 bucks per 100 does. Our harvest did significantly increase this year. We harvested 331 deer out of this herd unit. This herd has been well below its population objective, which is 12,000. This year we estimated for this population to be right around 4,000 deer. This herd has experienced very low fawn survival for the past 10 years, and there's no recruitment getting back into the herd. Harvest and harvest success was up this year for this hunt area. However, there will be no changes made to this hunt area for the 2025 hunting season. This hunt area falls in the Region J non-resident general deer hunt area, and this quota will remain the same at 750 licenses. In 2022 and 2023, Hunt Area 65 was part of a mandatory and priority testing area for CWD. In 2022, managers collected 147 samples from male mule deer, and of those 147, 22.4% came back positive for CWD. In 2023, this was a priority area, so not as many samples were collected, but of the 16 male mule deer that were sampled, 25% came back positive for CWD. Our 5-year average for Hunt Area 65 for positive CWD is 22%. Next, we'll be looking at the Cheyenne River deer herd. For the Cheyenne River mule deer herd, we will first look at Hunt Area 10. Hunt Area 10 is a limited quota area. Our fawn ratios this year were above the 5-year average at 67 fawns per 100 does. Our buck ratios had a significant increase from the 5-year average at 74 bucks per 100 does. Our harvest this year was very low, only harvesting 34 mule deer. We will not be making any changes to our quotas or season dates for the 2025 hunting season in Area 10. The next slide will cover the southern half of Region B, hunt areas 12, 13, and 14, which are all general hunt areas. Our fawn ratios are up from the 5-year average in these 3 hunt areas, but still not optimal. Our buck ratios for the 2024 classifications were right around average at 37 bucks per 100 does. Our harvest in these 3 hunt areas was below the 5-year average, only harvesting 323 mule deer between areas 12, 13, and 14. The Region B non-resident quota will remain the same as 2024 as at 800 licenses, and our season dates will remain the same for the 2025 hunting season. We will now cover the Goshen Rim deer herd. For Hunt Area 15, this population is under objective. Fawn ratios were above the 5-year average this year at 65 fawns per 100 does. However, the past several years, there has been very poor fawn production, therefore not allowing any recruitment into the population. Our buck ratios were above average at 36 bucks per 100 does. This year, there will be a significant change for general hunting license. There's been concern from landowners and the public that this population is extremely low. Because of this, we'll be changing the regular season dates from October 1st to October 14th, and they will now run from October 20th through October 31st. This change will shorten the season by a few days and reduce hunting pressure with other general areas being open at this time. The Region T non-resident quota will not change and remain at 400 licenses. We will now cover the central white-tailed deer herd. This white-tailed deer herd covers significantly more hunt areas than any other mule deer herds in this area. All but one of the hunt areas for this herd will have no changes for the 2025 hunting season. However, in hunt area 65, the whitetail population seems to be rebounding from the EHD outbreak a few years ago. Because of this, there is growing concern from landowners regarding damage to irrigated fields. With this information, we increased the Type 3 quota by 50 licenses and the Type 8 quota by 200 licenses to address these concerns. We will now jump over to the Douglas District elk hunting season recommendations. We will start with the Laramie Peak Muddy Mountain elk herd. With the continuous changes in license types in this herd, we were able to kill significantly more elk in 2024 than the past 5 years. In 2024, there were 2,578 elk harvested between hunt areas 7 and 19. The Laramie Peak Muddy Mountain elk herd covers hunt areas 7 and 19. Our population objective is 5,000 elk between these two hunt areas. This year, we are estimating around 10,400 elk in the herd unit. We have been consistently well over objective for many years. The population has stayed pretty steady with a slight downward trajectory these past few years. Our harvest success is very weather and access dependent. Both our calf and bull ratios remain high. The Laramie Peak Elk Hunt Area 7, we are looking at some pretty significant changes for the 2025 hunting season. We'll be implementing a split season this year. The Type 1 license will no longer hold a special archery permit. The regular season will now run from October 1st through October 31st. We are also making this quota 1,000. The Type 1 antlerless elk will now run from December 1st to December 31st. The Type 2 license will now hold a special archery permit, and the regular season will be November 1st to November 30th. The Type 2 is also changing to any elk during this hunting period, with a quota of 1,000. The Type 2 antlerless elk will then run the whole month of December. We made these changes with the Type 1 and Type 2 in hopes to even out the drawing odds, to spread out hunting pressure, and still provide a quality bull elk hunt. We got rid of the Type 4s altogether and made the Type 6 quota 2,000 to compensate for this removal. The Type 6 will still hold the special archery permit in September, and then the regular season will run from October 1 to coincide with the Type 1 opener and go till the end of December. The early season Type 8 will run from August 15th to September 30th on private land in Albany and Carbon counties, and be valid in all of Platte counties. It will not be valid in Converse County, Natrona County, or Wyoming Game and Fish Department Commission-owned lands. The Type 8 will then open on October 1st and run through January 31st, and be valid on private land only in Converse County and valid in all other counties off national forests. We will now look at the Pine Ridge elk herd. The Pine Ridge elk herd consists of one hunt area 122. In 2024, we harvested a record number of elk in this hunt area. With landowner cooperation and the implementation of the Type 8, we were able to harvest 310 elk in 2024. Elk hunt area 122 is predominantly private land where these elk are hanging out at. The population is managed on a landowner and hunter satisfaction objective. Because of this, we don't have a current estimated population for this elk herd, but we are seeing an increase in population over the past several years. However, we will be changing this objective from a landowner and hunter satisfaction objective to a population objective. We will fly this hunt area in May of 2025 to get an estimated population. The only changes we will be implementing for the 2025 hunting season is that we are going to increase the Type 2 license by 50. The quota will now be 150 licenses. Moving on, we will now look at the Rochelle Hills elk herd. For the Rochelle Hills elk herd, we'll be looking at hunt area 113. The Type 1 license is closed every other year. This year, it will be open. It will hold a special archery permit, and then the regular season will run from November 5th through November 30th. This herd has seen significant increase in elk. Because of this, the Type 3 license will now run from November 5th through December 31st in hopes to harvest more cow elk. With this increase, we are also implementing a Type 8 license. This license will be unlimited, but valid only on private land. This season will run from August 15th through January 31st to allow landowners to address any damage from elk. We will now look at our non-herd unit elk, specifically Hunt Area 126. For this non-herd unit, we will be looking at Hunt Area 126. For this area, we saw an increase in harvest in 2024 at 322 elk, which is above the 5-year average. We do have a few changes in Elk Area 126. The Type 8 will now open August 1st rather than August 15th. In addition, the Type 8 license will no longer be valid in the portion of Area 117 south of US Highway 16. This is because of the 117 boundary change. Elk Area 117 boundary will no longer be south of US Highway 16. Everything south of the highway will now be part of 126. Moving on, we will now look at the rawhide elk herd. The rawhide elk herd consists of Area 3. There will be no changes for the 2025 hunting season. For the 2024 hunting season, there was an above average elk harvest at 254 elk. Finally, we will look at the non-resident general elk regions. For 2025, there will still be 3 non-resident general license regions for the state. The East region includes general elk areas 2, 3, 6, 116, 126, and 129. This region's elk population continues to grow. There was an above average hunter success for 2024. With the population growth and high success, we are going to increase the quota from 600 to 1,000 licenses for the 2025 hunting season. We will now go over any changes to the upland game bird and small game hunting seasons for 2025. For the 2025 pheasant season, there will be no season date changes. However, the youth days will be changing. They will now be on November 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. We will now go over any proposed changes for fall 2025 turkey seasons and spring 2026 turkey seasons. For the fall 2025 turkey season, we'll be proposing a few changes. We'll be increasing the Type 3 quota from 750 licenses to 1,000 licenses. With the Type 3, we will also be including Crook, Hot Springs, and Weston counties. In these 3 counties, the Type 3 will be valid on private land only. With the 2026 spring proposal, there will be a few changes as well. We'll be increasing the Type 3 quota from 700 to 800 licenses. In addition to this, Commerce County will now be included in the April 1st opener, along with Sheridan, Johnson, Campbell, and Natrona counties. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, we would like to see public comments on any of our season proposals. Whether you like them, don't like them, we would like to hear back from you. Comments must be received by 5 p.m. on April 2nd, or they will not be considered by the commission. You can submit your comments a few different ways. Standard mail, you can mail them to our Casper office. The address is listed on this slide. You can print your forms by using the link on the right-hand side of the slide. You can also submit your forms online through that same link. This concludes my presentation for the Douglas, Glenrock, and Lusk areas. If you have any comments you would like to share with us or the commissioners, please submit your public comments by April 2nd. If you have any questions on these proposals, feel free to reach out to me. My number is listed on this slide. Thank you.